What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Pegasus here, bringing it back to you guys with another video on Remnant from the Ashes, and today we'll be taking an all-new look at the new build known as the Gift of the Flaming Spirit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, here, so opening up my character sheet for the handgun, I am using the Spitfire. Attached onto it is the non-removable mod known as the Flamethrower. For the long gun, I'm using the shotgun. Attached onto it is the mod known as Hot Shot. From there, I'm using the melee weapon known as Smolder. For the armor, I'm using Helmet, One Piece Cultist, and then I'm using the Oasis, the Husk set. We'll keep it at that. I'm using the Husk for the chest and the Husk for the pants, which I think those are the skins. Take that off. And then I'm also using the charcoal necklace for the neck. For my first ring, I'm using Spirit Stone, and then for my second ring, I'm using Gift of Iskall. Now, with all that being said, on to traits. Now, I've said it once, and I'll say it again, guys, when it comes to traits at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what you go about picking, because they're all versatile within the given build that you happen to be playing at that current moment. And I would recommend going for each and every trait within the course of the game, because there is no set cap limit. However, if you did need a starting point, then from there, I would recommend going with these three traits, which are going to be as follows. Spirit is really nice for my power generation, and then from there, increased fire rate is going to be really nice for the Spitfire. And then last but not least, reload speed for quick hands, which is going to be really a necessity when it comes to this build at the end of the day, because you will be reloading a lot. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get down to business and get into some gameplay. Alright, so we're playing on Earth on Nightmare mode, and today I'll give you the build breakdown of some tips and tricks on how to utilize the build, the overall breakdown, and what this build happens to be all about. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, one of the reasons I ended up going with One Piece Cultist into Oasis set, correct me in the comments if I happen to be pronouncing that wrong, which I'm sure I am, is the main reason is because I think personally it looks freaking awesome, but I am going to be close quarter combat for the majority of the time, and it just capitalizes off of the Oasis set rather nicely, so I can be able to amplify my overall damage output, as well as being able to still maneuver around, be able to get at tight corridor situations, and just being able to stay light on my feet. And one of the reasons I ended up going the One Piece Cultist, other than the fact that the hat looks freaking awesome, was the fact that I wanted to go about increasing my passive mod generation abilities, because I did not have a lot of mod generation output power on this particular build, so that is why I ended up doing One Piece Cultist. But to be honest with you guys, main reason I did do it is because it looks just freaking sassy. I mean, who doesn't want to run around with a cowboy hat on? I mean, come on. Now, one of the reasons I ended up picking out the shotgun as opposed to some of the other rifles that I did test this build out with, aka one of those rifles being the beam rifles, I went with the shotgun because I felt as though that I was going to be a lot closer to my targets and I was getting overrun a lot. So the shotgun just played out really nicely and it has great synergy with the Spitfire, allowing me to go about capitalizing on being able to clear out adds ridiculously fast. Pretty much transition into being able to pump them full of lead, swap over to Spitfire, and then even if I'm out of ammo, I have my flamethrower, so it's pretty much like I have 3 guns active at all times, and it's just freaking great. I'm always continuously proccing flames and applying dot damage onto my target while I amplify my own damage with single target base value, and I have so much AoE output damage from the flamethrower, it's absolutely insane. So it just works out so nicely when it comes to synergizing with the shotgun, because I can deal with close quarter combatants so easily and efficiently, to the point of where it's literally fun to take on hordes of mobs because of how well you can go about dealing with them. Now I will say, one thing is that you do have to manage your ammo reserves a little bit more efficiently than I did within the course of some of this gameplay footage. I found myself reloading a little bit too often than what I would have liked to. You can go about combating that quite nicely if you have some experience with the build, so it's just something you'll have to learn over time. But basically, you synergize in with the flamethrower, you apply the dot damage, and then from there, it won't take as many shots to go about killing your set targets. So if you're applying your dots, aka your flames, effectively to your targets, you won't have to worry about wasting so much bullets, which in turn allows you to go about saving on your ammo, so you won't end up reloading as often as you are. Now, another thing is too with the course of this build as well, is that you really want to capitalize on the hotshot perk by just proccing it whenever it happens to be up. So from there, I end up proccing it, and then I end up swapping the Spitfire using the flamethrower, and then I swap back over to the shotgun. It still happens to be active, even if I'm reloading, even if I'm using another weapon, it's still active. It's on a time limit, so if I don't have it currently equipped on my gun at that time, it is still happens to be active and is still ticking, so keep that in mind. But with that being said, honestly, it's still really nice to have active, because when you end up swapping to it directly, you don't have to worry about proccing it, wasting the 3 seconds it takes to go through that animation, and you always have it up. So it's just a really, really nice increase in damage and just an easy transition between the two. Flamethrower is also really easy to engage. Don't be afraid to waste that. I actually found myself using it behind walls, because in some cases you can actually catch people off guard with it by catching them by the heel of their feet to be able to ignite the flame, which will allow you to go about consistently doing dot damage to them without even looking at them. Another cool thing is too is that when you are doing dot damage to that set target, you're continuously tracking that target. So if that target teleports, vanishes, whatever the case may be, you can still find that target from the consistent flame damage that you're doing onto them. So it's really, really nice. Another cool thing is too, I ended up going with the sword here just because, one, it looks awesome and it ties into the flame build quite nicely, but it's so good at using its sweep attack to clear out multiple adds. You really don't have to worry about getting overrun, especially with the little guys. When you happen to have a melee like this, you can cleave about 3 to 4 of them in one swing, so it works out so effectively to the point of where you really don't even have to worry about any of the small adds bombarding you or getting rushed. The build is really good at capitalizing on multiple targets, as well as being able to combat small or large groups of enemies rather quickly. It's also really effective at single target DPS. As you can see here, when I go about fighting Gorefist, I end up chucking him down continuously with the dot damage overall, and just continuously keep pumping lead into him until the point of where he just drops. But it is a really nice build. I recommend giving it a shot, guys, and let me know what you happen to think about it down below in the comments. But if you haven't already, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. It really helps me out, and let me know what you guys want to see next. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for me, guys. I'm going to let the video play out here in the background, but anyway, I hope to see you guys real soon. Later.